Hi, John Han with the Pulsing Cinema. The movie of the day is Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. John McNaughton film. Was made in 1986, but then only released in 1989. A film very, very loosely based on Henry Lee Lucas. Michael Rooker as the Henry character, and then Tom Towles as the Otis Toole character, and a film put together by on a shoestring budget. But I don't know. It's not my favorite serial killer film. I mean, I think it's just an okay film, and the film. But I mean, the film made careers. I mean, it's a serial killer film, but out of that, you had fucking John McNaughton, who became a fucking Hollywood director. You had the main performance by Michael Rooker, which really makes the film. I mean, Michael Rooker, that's just such a blindingly brilliant, psychotic performance. He just goes for it, and he just hits you by the throat. I mean, even Oliver Stone mentioned in the commentary track to JFK his affection for Michael Rooker's Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. I mean, man, a hell of a film, a hell of a controversial film that stirred a lot of shit. In the mid to late 80s, there was all of these, anti-violent film people. The critics came out in force. This is a bad movie. It's gonna, poison the water. It's gonna kill the plants. It's gonna cause like catastrophic failure of society. It's gonna, and then the whole cover art by Joel Coleman, the poster art, that controversial poster art that was released, that was all controversy. And the film is like, a window into this serial killer's life. And he just, hangs around and he kills a few people. And then he kills Tom Towles. And then he moves on. And the film begins with this vignette of scenes of people people are already murdered, and the film is a good film. It's just an okay film. I can't shake the feeling. The film just looks like a made-for-video. It just it just doesn't feel as big and as well made as some of the critics make it out to be. And it's not a good enough film to be that important and controversial and whatever. I mean, it just all those in the beginning, even the beginning, it looks like it was made on a cut on video. There's all these scenes of fading in and fading out, and it looks like video production, and it just looks cheap, and it just looks. I mean, the film is on a level here, and then Michael Rooker's performance is off the chart. It's so good, that it just makes up for any other deficits in the film. The Otis character played by Tom Towles is a slime and a skis-ball, and it really, I believe Tom Towles was part of the whole Organic Theater group, and McNaughton was as well. They all had come out of Chicago. And McNaughton had been working for MPI, I think even working on doing like a gangster documentary, and he pitched him this other idea of like, well, hey, we've got this MPI, the people behind Gorgon, The Face of Death, a famed video distributor, and he pitched this idea of a serial killer movie, and they went out and they went for it, and they made it, and to this day they're making money worldwide on selling Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. It's like the iconic serial killer film. I mean, even people who have never seen it probably would know the title. But does it bear much of a relation to Henry Lee Lucas and Otis Toole? I don't think so. I mean, Michael Rooker's Henry, to me, is way too friendly, and he's way too arch, and the real Henry Lee Lucas, strikes me as very kind of dull, more of this kind of human predator. I mean, he's just this dull, scuzzy, you know, backwoods guy who just, made the circuit in the, the very desolate areas of Florida and the southeast and southwest, and just picked off the part of the herd that nobody would miss. Just started picking people off. A much better movie, much better Henry Lee Lucas movie, is, in my opinion, is Confessions of a Serial Killer, which I've already done a movie of the day on. Confessions of a Serial Killer, starring the great Robert A. Burns, the production designer from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, that's a much better movie, in my opinion, than Henry. I mean, Henry is an iconic film. It's a fundamental film to watch. It's, the top 10 controversial movies, sickest movies, whatever. And it has much better special effects than Confessions. It has, in some ways, even much better production values, and everything. And Henry, is now out on Blu-ray, and has been re-released on DVD, international releases, the world over, controversial, banned, restored, what have you. And it launched the careers of Michael Rooker and John McNaughton, and to a certain extent Tom Tolles, but otherwise, to me, kind of a cheap looking film with an incredible performance.